I am a 22-year-old running for mayor in my hometown, Lancaster, Ohio, and I'm also the first woman to run for mayor in Lancaster. It's really wild that it's 2019 and Lancaster has yet to see a woman run for office, even a woman for mayor, but here I am. So I just wanted to start off by saying thank you so much for coming out tonight, especially on such a short notice. Today we'll be covering likely Democratic voters, so there should be no hostility. Woo!
Have you done this much?
Yeah, so every weekend.
Oh my god.
Yep.
This is terrifying.
Yeah, no, it's super nerve-wracking. My three main platforms are an inclusive Lancaster that supports every citizen, recycling and city infrastructure, and as well as changing the stigma and narrative around drug use and drug abuse.
I'm only slightly brown-skinned, and living in Lancaster is like sometimes weird. I was kind of scared and excited.
Me too.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, trying to support best I can.
The way that people vote for you is how they view representation, how relatable you are. And so obviously, like, you know, I'm not the most relatable figure, but, you know, I was born in this community, I grew up in this community. There are so many people who know me on a person level and not just the way that I look. There are a lot of people who want to see more people involved in government, and more people want to see younger people involved in the government.
I was thrilled when she started saying, well, I'm going to run for mayor. Tiffany understood so quickly, education should not be seen as somehow separate from life. I mean, she really has such a sophisticated understanding at the same time that she's not, she's able to relate to people.
Using her business and building her business to pay her way through school is an incredibly inspiring example of leadership. Because that's how I see leadership is not letting your circumstances get in the way of achieving your goals.
So one of the things you have to do when you're running for office is file a lot of paperwork. A lot of the questions they ask you are things that just don't apply to me. What investments and assets do you own? So I don't own a house, I'm not married. So it's actually going really, really quickly. If I lose this election, I still win in other ways.
Glad you were here. Yeah, no, I was...
Because I'm the first woman and person of color to run for mayor, hopefully this breaks down at least some barriers so that other people can run for office. My connection to the yellow suit is that it relates to the yellow dress, the yellow kid dress that people are familiar with. You know, as an Asian person, and this idea of being a yellow person, and kind of taking back that word to be my own. And then also kind of becoming Lancaster's yellow kid through this suit. Before I had announced I was running, I didn't even consider that my race would be an issue. You want to cook the noodles because you're better with the... Okay. You know, that was one thing my mom warned me about before I ran for office. This is something that people aren't familiar with and that you should be prepared to take on that sort of criticism. There is negativity that comes with, and hardships that come with running for office. Sometimes it feels so impossible. What does a 22-year-old girl think she's doing running for mayor of her hometown? Negative criticism can really weigh down. I just remind myself who I am, what I'm working for. Thank goodness for the incredible support network that I have. Without them, there's no way that any of this would be possible. So one of the endorsements that I have is through 1st-Ask, which is a political organization whose mission is to endorse women who are running for office for the first time. I really wouldn't be able to run for office if it wasn't for this endorsement. They provide a lot of guidance, a lot of advice.
Definitely some of the feedback she received was that she couldn't win because she was a Democrat running in such a heavily Republican city. But also I think that she was also trying to be like the first woman mayor. That in itself is sort of a systemic barrier.
It's okay, but I'm not crazy about a woman mayor.
I don't know if she's seriously running for mayor or if this is some sort of, I don't want to say publicity stunt, but some sort of school project.
Things around here are not as bad as one might think, but we still deal with race and color issues every day, everywhere.
It's long overdue for women to be in elected office at every single solitary level. That's not to say I'm against the current mayor. He's a good guy. But I am very much for women at all levels entering political races.
Tiffany has stated that you don't need a lot of experience to run a campaign for mayor, and I didn't have any experience at all when I ran 2 years ago, so that's probably true. I've only met Tiffany one time. She came into my office and interviewed me a number of months ago. I know that she grew up here. She ran track with my granddaughter in high school. And that's pretty much all I know about her. I have not observed any efforts on her part to campaign or anything that she's done to get out there and get the vote.
Yeah, so that was a huge accident. I didn't find out about it until maybe last week. And so I didn't get any notification on it, and it just suspended the domain account, but it's up and running now. A little under 2 weeks exactly to the election day. I'm so nervous about it. I was invited as a member of the business community in Lancaster to mentor high school students. This is the first time that Scheffler and I have been in the same rooms since February. Kind of feel like I'm entering into Mayor Scheffler's territory. It's downtown. These are a lot of very established, well-to-do business owners in Lancaster, whereas my circle tends to be the fringe people on the outside. So we'll see how it goes.
Ran with Olivia, you must have been like a senior then.
Yeah.
Well, good to see you again.
Yeah, it was nice seeing you.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're
going to stop in and see me and learn about running the city before one of these.
It was a
second time I'd ever had an interaction with her. Yeah, so I probably wouldn't have recognized her without her name tag. But I just thought she was another student. Being mayor was never on my bucket list. I was talked into running for mayor. We pay our bus drivers $9.50 an hour, which is embarrassing. We need to get that up. More jobs, more high-paying jobs, more residential opportunities across the whole spectrum of income. So this election is kind of quiet, and I'm actually concentrating on we have an income tax increase, a city income tax increase on the ballot in November. So that's been my focus, to get that passed, and I've been out doing a lot of presentations and meetings about informing the public as to the need for a city income tax increase.
Yeah, since the last time I saw you, which was several months ago, I feel like a totally new person. I think that Tiffany then had a very naive idea of how politics were, especially at a local level. Because the way that I saw Lancaster and running for office was very like small town, I don't know, kind of like Gilmore Girls-esque kind of, where it's very communal, everyone knows each other, and there's no one trying to start up anything bad. And, you know, the world's a little bit different. There have been some tight months trying to cover rent to make sure that I had enough working hours. Selva, come here. One of my biggest beliefs is I think more people should run for office, and like regular people. It's really great when people who are really passionate about things just get out there and try. I hope more of it starts to happen. I'm feeling pretty nervous. I did not sleep at all.
This is a big day. This is the biggest thing that we're going to do for a while.
I just sometimes feel that age and experience is more what we need rather than youth.
I voted for Tiff Piko.
I just kind of go with party and more than knowing them personally a lot of times.
Tiffany.
Why?
She's a chick. It does not shock me that this is the first time that there's been a female on the ballot for mayoral candidacy. It does not shock me a bit.
Super excited. That was really a really surreal thing, seeing my name on the ballot. 9 months.
Wait, what?
9 months. It's been 9 months.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it has.
Yeah, I know. I just feel older now. I feel older. And I forget that I'm 22 years old. I'm glad we came up here though, on the day of the election. Just a couple hours away from the party. Got a 7:30 check the results. I'm waiting for the live feed to come up because it's past 7:30, but it hasn't updated yet. I just graduated, it's the election, and I said, what the heck, let's do it.
Honestly, it makes everybody feel like they can do it. Seeing other people get emotional to it just gets to me, but...
I know, I'm so nervous to look at it.
My biggest concern is whether the income tax increase passes. As far as the mayor's election, I don't have any concerns or anything. I think it's pretty cut and dry.
0%. Oh, wait a second. Oh, wait. We're sitting at 30% the vote for Tiff Piko. And then Scheffler's at the lead at 72%. I mean, I'm still so nervous. But, like, I don't know. I'm very happy, though, with how it's going so far.
With 5% of the vote in, I have 72%, and my opponent has 28%. I don't anticipate it changing much.
Even though percentage-wise it might not look that great, the numbers right now say that 345 people voted yes for Tiffany, and that just means that 345 people had that option and believed in Tiffany.
Dude, what if you win?
I know.
Have you like actually thought about that?
Only kind of. And then I'm like, no. Not right now.
I know, right?
See ya.
It's 10:30. Party's wrapped up. It appears the election is pretty much decided. At 50% of the precincts counted, I'm up 71-29, I think. I was happy that Tiffany entered the race. It's always good to see young people involved in city government, and I hope she doesn't let it drop now.
Party just ended because it is freezing, and people had to go home. Still at 92%.
Gotta hit 100, huh? 100%. We're at 100%.
All right.
1,400! Oh my gosh. 1,400 people voted for me. Oh my god! So we didn't win, but yeah, I mean, 1,400 people came out. We had a party. Anyone was invited. Anyone could come out.
Like, I knew people were excited to see me run because it was the first time a woman has done it. But like, it really didn't hit me until tonight that this is the first time a woman has ever done this. And people were excited about it. Like, that's so cool. People there who supported this, who wanted this. And it's time.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.